All right. Welcome, everyone. If you're able to catch this live, please say hi in the chat. I want to introduce you to one of my best mastermind buddies. We've known each other for many years. She's a gifted graphic artist. She's my go to person for PowerPoint, for the book cover design. And she has dove deep into artificial intelligence. And she's got this incredible way with she sneaks out these questions that you can use and you will get brilliant content. So I'm going to introduce you to Bridget, and I'll put information in the notes of the Facebook Live if you want to get in contact with. She's got a great class on Saturday. Let me hand over to Bridget. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's great to spend time with you. I love our morning weekly talks,
I
and
know, me
it's
too.
so inspiring. And just to be able to jump and speak to a live audience and share kind of what I'm up to. It's not like a big secret, but I'm not broadcasting it either. But I think everyone out there has heard a little bit about AI, and there's a boatload of people that are kind of scared of it and don't understand it, and there's some people that are just riding the wave and they love it, and then there's a lot of people in between. And it's like, how is this going to work for me? How am I going to utilize this? And when I see something that's just so going to revolutionize how we work, like when the computer came out, it completely changed how graphic design was done. Completely. And so this is kind of like the same thing, but even bigger. If you think about it, I was watching, I think it was 60 Minutes a couple weeks ago, and they were interviewing some really top level guys on AI, and he says, this is bigger than the invention of the wheel.
Whoa.
So we have no clue what impact this is going to have on us, but I'm just excited to learn as much as I can and to utilize it. And I'm getting instant results by using it today. And what I do is I teach people how to utilize AI to help them to write their marketing. And I'm not a writer. I'm not writing this,
Nor am
but I
I.
know how to write the prompts, and I know what I'm looking for as a creative director. I know what I need.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes hard to talk to writers or, get some creative juices flowing. And now I can do it with prompting on ChatGPT or other AI programs. And so we're working on, I call it the emotional marketing messaging, because the emotional messaging is like from the limbic brain. It's going to cause people to lean in and go, oh, I want that. Where do I get that? Instead of going, let me think about it. And we all know that's kind of death to any sales, right? But that emotional thing, like, I don't know, I'm an Apple person. Not some people aren't, but when Apple came out, people would line up at the Apple store for days to get the new iPhone or to get the new iPod or whatever. And so when you think of that kind of emotional messaging, how can you craft your message to be that? And that's what I help people with. And so I have a set of prompts that I use that I put into ChatGPT that lets us identify what is our product, who is our target audience, what are their pain points. I mean, really, it's just asking simple questions, and
Which
they
can be so hard to answer if you're an entrepreneur.
yeah.
For me, when someone asks me those questions, I go into almost post-traumatic stress. Like, no, please don't ask me. Who's my niche? So you're saying you can use this, the emotional messaging chat GPT, to pull things out that are really valuable that people can resonate with?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could pull information from an existing website that you have, or, we could pull from competitors' websites if you're like doing your own website, and you could see several competitors' websites. What are they saying, and how do you want to say it, and how can we write it differently, and how can we figure out your tone? Yeah, and your tone is like, are you humorous? Are you serious? Are you kind of fun loving? How are you when you speak? And we can actually tell ChatGPT to write it in that tone, which sounds like it's just you, which is so cool.
I remember you shared one with me. You ran my older website because I'm going to be upgrading it. And it had some things like we believe in, it had mission statements. And I remember thinking, those are great for Facebook posts. So it's really practical. So tell us about your class on Saturday that you're doing completely for free. Who
Yeah.
should be there and what are they going to get?
anyone who has a business that struggles a bit with marketing, and especially getting started or writing or whatever. I'm a creative director. I'm more of the visual person, but I do, as a creative director, I'm pulling writers together, I'm pulling resources together, and I see this vision. But how do I get all this together now with AI? It's like my back pocket. It's there all the time. I can put anything in there and get the answer right away. And I mean, it's even better than Google. I have an AI program I love called Perplexity.ai. Check it out, because if you have a Google question, you're going to get the answer so much faster and so much deeper in that program, and it's free. But anyway, so all different kind of marketing. Like what is your email sequence? Let's write a prompt for your email sequence. Or what about social media? We could put out the next quarter of social media out in 10 minutes. You could do the whole year if you want. I know it's shocking. And then you can read it and that sounds a little repetitive. Can you make it more fun? Can you do it different? And when you put in those prompts and get it a little bit differently, it gets really fun. It's exciting.
Because one of the things that really impressed me about that report that you sent me was that it was coming based on the content from my website. So it was
Mhm.
speaking about things that are important to me and what I've already created. So it was like starting from something that was real rather than just pulling off the web random stuff.
Right.
So is that something you can show people how to do themselves, or is it they go through you to get that? Tell me more about that one.
Well, what's cool about the class, it's 90 minutes.
Yep.
So we're going to go deep into several prompts. Okay. And you're going to see they're really deep prompts of explaining what I need to get done. And you see it all, right? And once you put it in there, then it starts answering the questions. And then you're going to see, okay, well, tell me more about this, or can you say it in a different way, or whatever. And what I found is the prompts that I'm using, this template of prompts, is so right on that I don't have to bend it too much. It's really getting
Mm,
the information. And it's like, oh my God, I never would have thought of that. I'm glad you brought that up. And in some of those things, you'll find, oh, well, let's ask them this, or how do I do that? And I mean, for me, I actually wrote a whole talk, because I help people with their slides. I wrote a whole talk on what are the 5 things that speakers should never do on their slides, right? And we all know, kind of what that is. But I wanted to see what AI said. I said, okay, well, write me a 15-minute speech that talks to these points. It wrote it. I said, okay, great. Now I want you to put it in a column where the first column is the slide number, the second column is the copy that it's going to say, and the third column is a description of the picture.
no way, Bridget.
Yeah. I know,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like, wow, when you find a tool like this, it's kind of like driving a car. You could walk
Yeah.
to the store that's 10 miles away, and that's a whole day affair. Or you can get in the car and be home in 30 minutes. Same
Yeah.
with AI. You could spend months writing your marketing copy, or you can have it all done in a half a day.
Yeah. So who should be there? Or anybody who is a web designer, copywriter,
Exactly.
marketer,
Anyone who works
copy.
with marketing copy,
Yeah.
or has a business, and they don't have a writer that they're utilizing, but kind of want to learn a little bit about this, or just see how it even works. Some people are just coming to look and see, what does this do? And I love that, because they're just kind of, broadening their brain and their thought patterns of like, how can this work for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. I know you've taught it a couple times already, and each time you've taught it, I've been busy. But it's this Saturday, right? What time and anything people should do to prepare to join in?
Yeah, okay, so it's 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
So what's that, 12 p.m. Eastern time? And if you could bring in a little bit of information about your company, like if you have a bio about yourself, great. If you don't have a bio, but it's on your website, I could show you how to grab that and rewrite it from the website.
Mhm.
Having a little idea of who your target audience is, or what your business is. I mean, we're actually going to have a prompt that tells us who our target audience is, but it's going to be based on what we told our business is. Okay. And it goes through these series of questions to make sure that they're asking us all the things they need to really give us a clear answer of who our target audience is. And I mean, when you see this, it's like the people would pay $10,000 for these reports, marketing surveys and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is all done. And I mean, I could work with a client one on one, and we can have all this fleshed out in 4 hours. when you think about all the things that you need for marketing writing.
Wow, fabulous. I know you and I were talking in our mastermind today about, the length of pages and how people want something very fast and they want it to the point, which this could do that very clearly, right? So like condense it. Like I wrote out a whole long page. How can I say this in less words? But you've got this brilliance with how to ask the question to get the best answer.
Right. And I think it's one of those knacks I've had, because I remember when computers first came out and Google was the big search engine, and it's like I could find anything, and people go, "How'd you find that so far?" So I just Googled it. So how do I find this? Well, Google it. But they didn't understand what long-tailed searches mean. It's an old term now, but when it first came out, it means you put a long message in there about, I'm looking for how to get Microsoft Word to give me bullets that are more indented than they are now.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
And my brain would think that way. So I'd just type it in and I would get this, really great answer. But now with AI, it's 10 times, 100 times more. I call it Google on steroids, because the information you get is just mind blowing. I mean, I looked up my competitors and I found out, what they were doing and stuff. And that was really fascinating because, we're all pretty much doing the same thing. But what I loved about my competitors is not like they're my enemies, but they're my partner on my side to help speakers, deliver their information better and actually appreciate the audience. So the audience enjoys the entertainment as well. So that's my mission.
Oh, that sounds really, really good. And I know this one time when you teach it, I will be able to attend, but I'm booked this Saturday. So as we wrap up, can you give someone a tip on if they're using ChatGPT, something that can blow their mind and say, I've got to learn more from Brigette. I got to be there on Saturday.
Well, I was in a class and we had to create our own doppelganger, so to speak, or our own digital personality.
Yeah.
And they said, pull from, Myers-Briggs or from all this other stuff that you've taken tests on that's widely known. Oh, if you're an NCSR or whatever, I don't even know the terms.
Yeah.
I can't remember what my Myers-Briggs is, but I did remember my human design. And so I wrote that in there. And then I did remember my mind types, which is a Ridgely Goldsboro program for typing out what type of person you are. And then I told them what I do, and it nailed me to a T. I gave them my age. I said, I'm a creative director. I live in, California. I do this, I do that. And in like that, it told me who I was. And then they go, wow, can you tell me who my ideal mate might be? Man. He did. I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. Really? Okay. Can you write me a Match.com profile? Like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's taken me 9 months to post that thing. And now I have it in 5 seconds. Okay, post.
Brilliant.
Done.
Well, thanks so much for your time. I know you're super busy, and anyone who's listening to the live, and I'll also put notes in, really join Brigette. You can see how bubbly she is and light, and she just delivers such valuable content. I know you will be grateful you turned up. All right. So much love, everybody.